What's going on, everybody? It's Friday. Everybody's probably like, is my computer frozen? How's everybody doing this morning?
I'm good.
Hey, outstanding.
You remember when we used to do that, TK?
Yeah.
Open with
It's Friday. I got my Service Alliance Group shirt on. Shout out to Zach and his wife for cooking a brother up. So I'm pumped. Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Adam. We're here and we have some news. It's a pivoting time for the Service Alliance Group. And first and foremost, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in so frequently. But we're making some changes, and they're good changes. They're not bad changes. And as we grow and as we pivot and as we do different things, we're going to be making some changes in the next few weeks to make everything better. But one thing we are going to be doing is doing away with Freestyle Friday. So we are going to say goodbye to this beautiful time that we've had. And as we celebrate Easter this weekend, we're going to go into a new birth of podcasts and grinds and all those beautiful things. But one thing I want you to know, people, is we are not getting rid of Miss Ward. She is coming in as a full-time co-host, and it's either going to be Tuesday or Thursday. We haven't worked out those details yet, but we are going forward. We're going to be skipping Wednesdays. And we want to do this to make everything better. So we're looking forward to it. We'll still give you guys your Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday dose of encouragement. And Wednesday, we're not sure what we're going to do with it yet. If you have any suggestions, let us know. But each one of us, me, EJ, Zach, and Mike are going to have our own days with our own hosts. And we're still working out the details. We're still working out the kinks, all that good stuff. But starting next week, we won't be doing Wednesday, and we won't be doing Freestyle Friday anymore. So
we will be here Friday.
We will be here Friday. The only day we're cutting out is Wednesday, and we're hoping everybody's going to use that day as a good middle of the week to recharge. Whatever you need to do, take that time, the time you normally spend on Wednesday morning watching us, take that time to read something encouraging, maybe do something to work on your business, maybe spend some time in prayer and meditation, whatever you want to do. But we got some big things coming, man, and I'm excited. And the biggest news is we're not getting rid of Miss Ward. She's staying right where she is. We're just pivoting. That was the first thing I said when we talked about it in the meeting. I was like, I'm taking Miss Ward. She's mine. EJ wanted her, but I said, no, sir. I'm sorry.
I was slacking. My focus was get off of Mondays and keep Miss Ward. And he jumped in and stole Miss Ward, and I lost Monday. So it's hard to come on Monday morning. Zach took that.
But Zach was all over it, man. I think Zach's a Monday person. I think he gets his week, going and pumped up and all that good stuff. So,
amen.
Anyway, who wants to pray this thing up? Let's get it popping.
Let's let Miss Ward do it.
Yeah.
This is becoming a habit.
Yeah.
We love your prayers. We love your prayers, Miss Ward.
Lord, we come to you with heads bowed and hearts open and minds clear. Thank you for ordering our steps all week long, all month long, all year long. Move us into the next quarter with clear objectives and goals, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, and business-wise. Give us the foresight and the proper intention to not only be successful for ourselves and our families, but also to represent you in our business dealings and everything we do. Thank you for honoring us and giving us the opportunity to be in a profession that gives us individuality and autonomy. Lord, order our steps once again and cover us in everything we do. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ms. Ward.
You're welcome.
So I don't know how everybody's week's been, but I've had a very trying week. It has been one of those weeks where a month ago, if I'd have had this week, I don't know what I would have done. But I'll say this, because of the inner circle that I have and the people that I have around me and the small changes that I've made in my life, I have gone through this week that was total crap and a really sucky week, and I come into Friday more pumped up than ever. And that's not like me. I'll be straight up with you. A month ago, and I attribute it to some very basic changes that were spawned from that Atomic Habits book that Miss Ward turned me on to. So I just want to give you guys a word of encouragement this morning. If you're struggling, if you're burnt out, if you're just feeling like bleh, trust me, dude. I have been there. I have been there more times than not. And if you keep doing what you've always done, you're always going to get what you always got. It ain't going to change overnight. But I can tell you that if you start making some small little changes like that book Atomic Habits says, and just start working on yourself a little bit, the burnout isn't quite as bad. And I'm not saying that you're not ever going to go through some shit, because I'm going through it right now. I had some horrible, horrible news and some horrible, horrible things happen this weekend. I mean, this week. Plus, I got my business partner and one of my main techs out this week for spring break. So it's been a trying week. But changing those habits, getting that morning routine done, and living your days with purpose changes everything. So that's my spiel for today.
Mm-hmm. I tell you, my routine's been knocked off this week as well, and it's been trying for me. Not nearly as bad as yours, but I had my lead tech on vacation Monday and Tuesday, and my other tech off all week after Tuesday. She sustained an injury off the job, and this week that I plan to dedicate to office stuff to prepare for the quarter, I have been doing service calls 4 of the 5 days. And Wednesday, we actually did do inventory in the parts room. So that was the highlight. But we're just riding the wave. Ride the wave.
Ride it.
How about you, Miss Ward?
Yeah, this week has been a very, I've had an opportunity to explore my ability to set boundaries and to stay focused on the trajectories of my life. All right, period. And in that manner, my vision is just very different. So a lot of things I have to kind of keep to myself, because when I communicate, they go over people's head, over someone's head. You know what I mean? And that's why the circle is so important. First of all, I think most people don't understand there comes a time when you outgrow your circles. And a lot of people don't want to accept the fact of walking away from what's comfortable and what's familiar. But in
Yeah.
order to reach new levels, you have to do things. You're going to have new challenges. And, I think we all have something inside ourselves that's always directing us, but do we really listen? So this week was very clear that all the choices I've made are not only accurate and correct, but that I need to look forward to making many more. You know what I mean? To go to the next level. Because I mean, all of us are highly intelligent and driven, and you get to a point where you're just bored. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
how are you growing? There's no such thing as standing still. So it's just like when you talk about atomic habits, the key to that book is habit stacking and being able to put little things next, to build a habit and then put another small thing next to it. No matter what, like right now, I'm drinking water and lemon, warm, hot water and actually lime, because it just makes a difference in my life. Like I do very little meat, because I want to stay clear. Like my brain, when you know what you need to do to be the best you just need to do it consistently and continue to work on those things, because I think it helps in every way. This week, a lot of my guys, a lot of the people that I coached, they had a lot of technical challenges, and I did too. And they weren't really challenges. They were just wake up calls to let you know don't be comfortable, stay on the basics, you know. So it's
Mm-hmm.
been that kind of week.
Yeah. Those
Stay on the
basics will
base.
get you, man. If you forget I tell these guys all the time, these new guys that we're training, we got what 3 techs that well, 2 that we're training and 1 that we're kind of pulling back to retrain a little bit. Those basics will get you. You gotta remember the basics of what you learned when you first started. Because when you get in there and you start relying on that pattern recognition too much, and like we were saying earlier, oh, the switch clicks, it must be good. All right, let me know how that works out for you. I almost had one get me the other. I was on one actually this week, and I started pulling the dryer out and tearing it down. I was like, man, I never checked the voltage. And and you always want to skip it on the ones where it's a pain in the ass to get to the back. You know, it's in this built-in little cut with the washer smashed up against it, and you have no room, and
Mm-hmm.
you still got to check. You still got to start with the basics. Walk your way through. Have your systems. You know what the systems are, and teach those systems to your new guys. Because if you don't teach them the systems, we've been doing trainings here at the store, and we're walking them through. Last training we did refrigerators. We walked them through how me and Austin do a service call on a refrigerator based on a specific complaint. You know, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to check your temperatures if it's a no cool issue. What's the next thing you're going to do? You're going to check your airflow if the fresh food section isn't cooling properly. Just these basic little things, man. And, you know, we take it for granted as experienced technicians. We take it for granted. We say, oh, we know this, it's okay. But these new guys, they don't know it. And then unless you engrave it into their freaking heads, they're going to skip it, and they're going to make stupid ass mistakes that are going to cost you money in the long run.
Yeah.
And as a business thing too,
That's why I stay boots on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to make a trip to Florida and just hang out with Miss Ward for like a month. That's what I need to do. Get some sun.
If you hang out with Miss Ward, which we didn't play our game this morning, you will visit more than just Florida. Where?
Oh yeah, I'll be all over. I might end up in the Bahamas if I go visit Miss Ward. You never know.
Where in the country
Exactly.
Hey.
Yeah. Where in the world
Yeah, I'm in one of my favorite spots, Crestview. Crestview, Florida. I'm headed today. I got Destin, Panama City, Niceville, and Freeport.
Dr. Dan made a basic mistake. Thanks for sharing, Dan. It's even the vets do it. Dr. Dan's a newly free man. I'm proud
Shout out
of
to Dr. Dan.
Yes, sir. I had a couple instances yesterday where you ever notice that when you need to be able to be online and connected for like documents and stuff, it happens to be while you're in the rural areas that don't have any service. And it's like you never get a direct drive washer when you're in the middle of the mountains and you can't get nothing, no service. I was in on very low area, river bottoms, and in Kentucky, and this is an area that floods bad. There wasn't a flood yesterday, but I had a Samsung fridge with one of the smart TV screens, and I was trying to get into diagnostics and it wouldn't do it. And I was like, "Am I doing it? Am I doing this wrong? I've done it before." And I couldn't get on. The guy had a cell phone that had service, but I didn't have any service. Didn't know his Wi-Fi, and started calling his daughter and his girlfriend and cussing them out because they didn't know the Wi-Fi either. And I'm sitting there like, man, I got to go. I'm just going to go down the road and call somebody. But we was 20 minutes away from a cell service for me. Gosh.
You got to get one of those hotspots, man.
I do have one, but it's got to have service.
Oh, well. Well, what's the one? What's the one? Mike was telling me about one that he got for down at his house at the river, or his camper at the river, his little camp spot he's got,
Yeah.
and it's some kind of internet thing that wherever you go with it, it gives you internet. I don't know what it's called, but
Yeah, satellite.
yeah,
Yeah.
satellite.
If you know that answer, drop a comment.
Yeah, Mike Carson's the one that told me about it. We have good service, and I'd say 95% of our service area, which we're extremely fortunate. But we do have a few rural areas, further towards Tappahannock, etc., where it's not quite as good. But yeah, Starlink. Isn't that the Tesla thing?
I don't know.
I'll text Elon Musk later and ask him about it and get back to you.
You'll have
He'll
to.
reply.
I'll tweet at him.
He might have AI answer.
Yeah.
So I got a question for everybody out there. We need you to comment. Okay, we need you to comment on this question. What do you want to see on the morning grind? What topics do you want us to cover? What do you want to talk about today, next week? Do you have any ideas, ways we can make this better? Freestyle Friday, the questions have dried up. We love Freestyle Friday, but if you ain't bringing content with us, it's just us shooting the stuff and you guys just being part of it. Is that what you like? You want to just watch us prattle around and not get anywhere? But drop the comments now. What you want to see in the morning grind in the future. We're trying to pivot, and we want your input. All 15 of you. Oh man, we got 15 people watching. Wow.
I was talking to EJ before the show, and I was like, we get some pretty good views on Fridays, and I don't know if it's because of Freestyle Friday or because of Miss Ward being here, but I have a feeling it's the latter. So, that's my assessment of the situation. Morning, Fred. Good morning, Fred. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. You guys are doing great. Well, Joe, we appreciate that, man, but we always feel like we can do better. So we covet y'all's feedback on how we're doing. I want TK to speak Spanish. Hey, Saul, I am on a 25-day streak on Duolingo, so let me tell you, bud, I'm killing it.
Give us your best stuff from today.
What's that?
Give us some Spanish from today's lesson.
What did we go over this morning? We went over we're going over like work stuff. So like book, desk, biblioteca, library, libros. I'll tell you what my biggest struggle with Spanish is I put the verbs or the adjectives in the wrong place. So like, in English you'd say the boy is a tall boy, or the boy is tall. But in Spanish you'd put it the alto, or what's tall? Alto. You put the adjective behind the noun. Whereas I think that's how it works. It's really confusing. I need Saul to just call me once a week and speak to me in Spanish for about an hour or two, because I really suck at Spanish, man. I'm trying.
So basically, don't tune in to the morning grind for your Spanish lessons. That's the best we got. Miss Ward probably can speak Spanish.
Poquito español.
Yeah, that's me. Poquito español.
Hey, I get enough to get by. If you in South Florida and you can't speak Spanish, a little bit of broken Creole, and I'm telling you, you lost, man. You don't go down. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna be quiet. Telling you,
Yup.
you wherever you at, you got to be able to roll in Rome. You gonna have to do like the Romans do.
Yeah.
Necesito un profesor para español, so por
I thought
favor.
I thought that I knew enough Spanish to order a meal, but when we went down there to TMM Academics, shout out to Brother B and Rick, uh,
Hialeah.
and we went to the little spot around the corner, and they had so many options, and they had different words on the window. I couldn't tell which one was which, and I just said that one, that one. And every
Yeah, all
time
you
I
gotta
come
do is
in,
say churipollo. That's my go-to.
well,
That
by the
chicken and
time we was at
chorizo.
well, by the time we was at the end
Morning.
of the week, I had this one woman behind the line, and that was about 8 or 9 of them. This one came up to me every time because she know here's the gringo. I gotta deal with this guy. So that was that. So
The
don't
food
forget
was
to roll
good
your
though.
R.
The
I,
food was banging, wasn't it?
hey, I couldn't finish it any day, and I'm one of them guys that'll throw it down. And
But
I even
maybe
Gasper to leave
maybe.
diet for that week too.
Hey, have you guys thought about doing a day or a day with like a book club or something? I don't know how
Yeah.
they would structure that, where you'd have a podcast where you go over some of the books.
So we have thought of that. So we actually have a leadership book club that we're doing, but it's not on YouTube. But I have considered that, and heck, that's kind of what we've been doing anyway. We read the 21 Laws of Leadership and went over each chapter for a week, and right now we're in the middle of this one, Business Ground Rules.
Hmm.
But I love the idea that you had. I think where you're going with it is uh, kind of a book review of one book a week or something, right?
Yep.
I kind of like that idea too. I was thinking something like that about a year ago, and I think it came from you when I thought it because you brought a different book pretty much every day, and I'm starting to get into them. That's a good idea. Uh,
Yeah.
Paul Paul said he's tired of seeing us. He wants new people. So uh, thank you, Paul. We'd like new audience members too. Uh, I'm I'm joking.
Yeah. So Paul, when are you coming on? That's the question.
Yeah, Paul's free. He's a new dad. What is it? Twins, Paul? Did you get
Oh
twins?
my goodness.
Oh my!
Is he back to work yet? He said that's exactly what I
Congratulations, Paul. Twins. That's awesome.
Paul said, "Oh gosh, that's exactly what I meant." So
We're gonna get you on, Paul. We're set up now. That's awesome, man. Twins.
Twins. Ooh, no sleep ever.
Those diapers get expensive, man. And don't
yes,
try
sir.
that cloth shit. That cloth stuff's for the birds.
Gosh.
Trust me, I had three babies in diapers at one time. And I felt like 50% of my paycheck went to freaking diapers. Thank God my wife breastfed, or we'd be freaking spending money on Similac and diapers, or whatever that stuff's called. I don't know what baby stuff.
So
Yeah.
I think it takes the same amount of work to get twins as it does to get one. Maybe we should try and find out. Fred, thank you for your comment, sir. He likes the idea of the book review. Is there a list of recommended titles? Oh man, between the three of us, we can make you a list. We can
Don't we
make you a
have?
list.
Do we have a list of recommended books on the Service Alliance Group website?
I don't know. I have to look at that. We should probably do
We
that.
need to do. I thought we did, but if we don't, we need to do that.
Yep.
So
Yep.
let's play that game. Top three books. Go, Miss Ward.
The E Myth, number one.
I should have went first.
Atomic Habits, number two. And let's see, number three. You know what? There's a book that people don't talk about. It's called The Goal. The guy who wrote it, his first name is Eli. It's very, very good. It talks about systems and Lean Six Sigma.
Hmm.
Very important book.
All right, TK. Now that she took two of the
Can
books
I
that
get an
we actually
honorary
did,
mention?
Yeah, give us an
uh,
honorary mention.
I feel
Profit
like you
first,
should
of
get a.
course. Profit first.
Come on.
What was your third one, Miss Ward? I'm typing them into the chat so everybody will see them.
The Goal.
The
I'm
Goal.
upset.
Yeah.
I'm upset. I should have went first. Miss Ward took half of mine, all of them actually. There's only one you didn't mention that I was going to say. Uh, me and TK, we've read about 3 books between us, and you took all 3 of TK's.
No, I got one more. I got one more.
Go ahead.
I got 2 more. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey, and Traction, another great book. If you haven't read that one, it's a really good one. So I'll type those in the chat. I only got 2 though. Oh, and the Bible is my third one. You should read it. It's pretty good.
It's got all the answers.
It'll
right.
lead you toward the answers. It won't give them to you.
All right. So mine was. I'm gonna go farther than 3 because the ones that Miss Ward already said. Profit First, E Myth was on mine. Atomic Habits is an honorable mention for me. So if I'm going to name my 3 that you didn't name yet, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, Book Yourself Solid. That was a Miss Ward recommendation a year ago. And I really I just read again, what was it? Entree Leadership by Dave Ramsey.
Can you type those into the chat? Because I did mine and Miss Ward's, but yours were a little long-winded. Or long-titled, I should say.
How do you do
So
this?
I just opened up my library here on Audible, and I have 259 titles.
Show off.
In this library, and I'm just looking
200
at
books in my entire life, probably.
I've got 25 in my Audible library. I've not read all of them or had them read to me.
I forgot. Super Fudge. That's another one of my favorite books. I read that when I was 10. That's a really good book, Super Fudge.
Hey. So another one I'm looking at, I got Relentless by Tim Grover. You know, that's the guy that coached Michael Jordan and Kobe. I got The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. 50th Law by 50 Cent and Robert Greene, the guy that wrote 48 Laws of Power. 6 Habits of Growth, Win-Win Wealth. Never Finished by David Goggins. Traction, 5-Second Rule, 12-Week Year. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, very good book. No Excuses, Brian Tracy. Profit First for Minority Business Enterprises, very interesting book. 7 Power Contractor, The Courage to Be Profitable. Acts of Faith, of course. Clockwork, Profit First for Contractors. E-Myth for HVAC Contractor. Focal Point. Telling you. I got plenty of books here.
I want to read the E-Myth for contractors because I've read the E-Myth, the original and the revised version, but I want to read the one for contractors because I feel like that will cater a little bit better to what we do.
I'll tell you one that if you want another E-Myth, I didn't do the contractor one, but I did the HVAC version.
That's what I meant. The HVAC version. Yeah, that's what I meant.
And I just learned that there's another one called E-Myth Mastery, like the next level. So, what's
Hmm.
your favorite not leadership or business book? No?
I haven't read anything that's. I mean, I have,
I
but
don't know.
I already told you Super Fudge. I read that when I was 10.
There you go. That's the one. Uh, yeah, I don't really have any of those either.
Calvin and Hobbes. That's my favorite comic book. Me and the kids read that. I found all my old Calvin and Hobbes comics in the attic, and we had like 12 books, and we breezed through all of them.
I had one. I'm trying to remember the name of it. Let me pull it up. I read this one a couple years ago. Uh, gosh, where is it? It was called. I think it was called Fearless. It was about a Navy SEAL.
Oh, you know a good book that's not business related? I don't know if this is the name of it, but this is what it's about. It's called Love Language.
Ooh.
It's all about it's something for married people and and catering to your spouse.
Five love languages.
That's it. Yeah.
Very.
I read that back in the day, and let me tell you that's
Yep.
a good book all
It's a very
around
good book.
to understand not just your spouse, but the people you have relationships with, how to how to um have that relationship with them, whether it's an intimate relationship or a friend or whatever, because we all want to nurture those things. So that book was really good. So if you've never read that one, I highly recommend it. Favorite
Well,
movie?
favorite movie.
Who
I
wants to
think
start?
we're stuck. There she is. Uh,
Hmm.
I'll tell you. Lately, I've been watching. I don't know. I like weird movies. Um, I like movies that make me think about business and leadership and different things. So, uh, a couple that I've watched recently that I enjoyed was the Steve Jobs movies, uh, Founder, the McDonald's story. There's a lot of business lessons in that, but aside from that, I I watched that new movie Otto, A Man Called Otto, and it's just weirdly funny and hilarious to me because the irony of the different things. It's just kind of a dry, hilarious. So maybe that's boring, but
I'll give you one. There's so many movies out there that I absolutely love, and so many. I kind of break movies down into genres, but if we're going overall movie, I would have to go with Forrest Gump. I freaking love that movie. Every
Yeah,
just
I
time,
watched
love
it
that
every
too.
last
time
week.
I'm flipping through the TV, which I don't watch a lot of TV, but if I'm flipping through the TV and I see Forrest Gump, it don't matter what part of the movie's on, I enjoy watching it, and it's a great movie. So I'd go with Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I just watched last night Top Gun Maverick, the latest
Oh,
one.
that's
That was
awesome.
good. I needed a feel good. That was a feel good.
That one I watched it in the movie theater, and then the next day we watched it at the drive-in on fireworks night, and I'd love to watch it again.
Yeah,
Man.
that's great. Those maneuvers were great, man.
Here's Saul says, "Name this movie quote. I always tell the truth, even when I lie."
I have no idea where that's from. Maybe I haven't seen that movie, Saul.
I I don't know if I'm right or not, but it's popping in my head that maybe it's Training Day with Denzel.
I feel like I would know it if it was Training Day because that's another movie I've watched probably 20 times.
Yeah.
Give us the answer, Saul. We don't know.
Paul says, "I like the dystopian ones, like Divergent, Hunger Games, but I usually just watch YouTube stuff from political and motivational and everything in between." Oh, that's right. It was Scarface.
How did we not get that? I've definitely watched Scarface multiple times.
Hey, my favorite series was House of Cards, Game of Thrones, and Billions.
I
Game
watched
of Thrones was good.
I watched Game of Thrones.
House of Cards. You guys need to make sure y'all watch that one.
I've watched
That
that
was,
one too.
I can't
that
believe
was
Miss
fun.
Ward watches Netflix. You watch TV
Everybody
series?
needs a little binge watching time. I think it's
Oh
important to
yeah,
have that time.
detox. Yeah, then
You
your
know,
brain doesn't have to work.
you can't just sit around and be business all day. You got to have some time to relax. And I think that's the problem with a lot of people. And this is a topic for another day. But if you're not taking time to relax and decompress and get all the crap off of your head that's bogged you down during the week, that's half the reason you're burnt out and struggling and going through the stuff you're going through. You got to take time to relax and kick back and you know have
Outlet.
adult beverage or something.
Hmm. Have an outlet.
I gotta go, guys.
We may
It's
be
time to rock
digressing.
and roll.
We dropped our viewers have dropped in half.
Yeah,
So we're getting boring.
they're dropping, so we're gonna drop out and get this day started.
The very
I know
last
that's right.
Freestyle
All right, man.
Friday. So,
Thank you.
guys, it's been fun. It's been real. And it's been real fun. So, have a great weekend. Finish strong, everybody.
Know it.